Talk That Talk TV, we back again.
Welcome to Talk That Talk Media, where the vibe is live. DJ and Tik Tok are hyped, keeping dreams alive. Welcome to Talk That Talk Media, where the vibe is live. DJ and Tik Tok are hyped, keeping dreams alive. Bringing you reactions, reviews and slick recaps. Join the conversation, no time for mishaps. Trends will uncover, every beat devoured with fresh insights and energy will never tire. From pop culture to the latest in the game, dive in with us. You want to stake your claim, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Talk That Talk Media. Welcome to Talk That Talk Media.
What's up, TDT crew? It's your girl, EJ.
And it's Tika.
And y'all, we are back today to talk about Friends and Lovers. This is a adaptation of Eric Jerome Dickey's book. If you know, you know. If you were reading them urban books way back in the day, Urban Jerome Dickey was one of those ones as well. And I remember reading this book quite some time ago. It was pretty good. I went back and I reread it. And thinking about adding it to our big book club list because I think it would be great to go back and kind of compare like the movie to the book or whatever, because there are quite a few differences. So please, guys, let me know where y'all are tapping in from. Go ahead and drop your city, drop your vibe check. Let me know what y'all thought about it. And y'all already know we're not gonna do this by ourselves today. Of course, we got my girl Kay in the building. Hey, Kay.
Hey, I was one of those people reading those.
Girl, okay.
This is the Between Lovers book. My sister has the Lovers and Friends one. But yes, was I reading those urban novels in high school being grown? Yes, I was.
Okay, girl, listen. And did. And of course, we got our girl Tamika's Den in the building. Hey, boo.
Hey, y'all. Hey, everybody.
Listen, y'all, this was a two-part series. Again, this is Eric Jerome Dickey's Friends and Lovers. Of course, we had Notori, we had Ronrico, we had, what's his real name? It's already K. Hold on, let me look at it real quick. I forgot his name.
And like Kendrick or something?
Yeah, I know it's not with a K.
Kendrick Sampson or Sampson.
Yeah, that's it,
Yeah.
Sampson, yep. And I was not familiar with the young lady. Did y'all know who she was, or did she play anything?
Was she Misty Knight in Luke Cage? I think she was Misty Knight.
Okay.
Did y'all ever watch the Luke Cage?
I
feel like that was Misty Knight from Luke Cage. I was like,
her, but it looked like she was a little thicker. Yeah, I kept saying I know this face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I only saw the first. I think I seen like a little bit of Luke Cage. You talking about the series that they had on the CW?
EJ, don't make me get you.
Netflix.
Yes.
My bad. Listen, you already know. Yeah, but hey. Okay, so that was the cast, y'all. That's who's playing in Friends and Lovers. And it's an adaptation of Eric Jerome Dickey's book. It follows Shelby, Deborah, their names are coming to me, Leonard, and last one, y'all. Somebody help me out.
Tyrell.
Tyrell.
How
to read your name? And
Okay.
Tyrell as well, y'all. So with that being said, basically it's just a story about friends and lovers, like literally. So we're gonna jump into it and we're gonna talk about it, discuss, some of the things that went down. And again, guys, we are most likely, I think I'm 100% on doing this as our first book club book, especially since we already downloaded it and everything. Might as well. Let me go ahead and get these slides up. While I'm getting the slides up, I need y'all to go ahead and give me a vibe check. Kay, what did you think about it, about the adaptation? Because you read the book, right?
Years ago. So I don't remember the book. I don't even remember reading this one. And I know I got this one. I don't even remember it. So yeah, in high school, I read them. I liked it. I appreciated seeing good Black male representation when it comes to like Black love and couples and fathers and marriage. I'm like, this is the kind of Black love stories that I love to see. which is why I'm a fan of Eric Jerome Dickey. I'm like, these are the kind of portrayals that that needs to be promoted a whole lot more. And I appreciate that. And the cast is just beautiful. I love the acting was wonderful. The production design was really, really good. Whoever directed this, shouts out to them. I forgot to look it up, but they did a really good job with this. I feel like this was a all around really good 2-part series.
That's what's up. Yeah, I agree with you. They definitely had the great Black male representation in this one. It was done so well. I did just come off of rereading the book because I read this book a long time ago. So, I had to download that Audible and just see what it was hidden for. And they did a pretty good job as far as making it for television. I knew there would be some changes that they would make. So, I mean, that was cool. And that's because they made so many, because they made some major changes on a couple of things that I did have a problem with on some of it. And I'll tell y'all about those later when I get to those particular slides. But other than that, I thought it was very well put together. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. Tamika?
Yeah, pretty much the same here. I read the book a long time ago. I didn't get to revisit it. I'm pretty sure I have it downstairs on my bookshelf. I know. Listen, this made me think about how me and my best friend used to run to the library to get our books, and I have no library in my neighborhood now. I'm always talking about that. They took the library for whatever reason. But yeah, we used, and with Eric Jerome Dickey, yeah, it is terrible. Okay, he's definitely one of the ones that we was always grabbing up his books. I know it was like Chasing Destiny and Genevieve. There's a couple of them that I remember reading, but it's been so long. But I feel like some things were starting to come back to me as I'm watching, and I'm like, yeah, I think they changed that. I don't think it was that way in the book, but they do that with things that's made like TV adaptations, movie adaptations anyway. Not too shocking, and I feel like if we was wanting to get everything out of the book, it probably would have had to be like a 4 or 5 night event. But I enjoyed it overall. I actually watched both episodes earlier today, and I was like, I didn't have crying on my card for today. I really didn't want to cry, but I was in here boohooing. I started out part 1 loving Shelby, and part 2 I was like, Shelby, you starting to annoy me, man. But we'll get to
Girl, I got a whole thing because Shelby was not on my list at all. I'm telling y'all that right now. So if you like Shelby, just know that EJ ain't got nothing at all to say at all. I don't know who is like whoever moderators, whoever got their thing on, go knock these people out y'all chat. They already starting. I took mine off, so anyway, we're gonna go ahead and get the slides. Oh, Tika, your thoughts. I'm sorry, boo. I apologize.
It's quite all right. I didn't actually read the book. I can't even act like I pretended to read the book. I didn't even listen to the Audible. However, I did see the play. They also did a stage play, Friends and Lovers, which actually stars Leon. Leon played Tyrell, and then Miguel Nunez, aka Harris, he portrayed the Leonard character. So yeah, I did have that version, and it's actually still available. If y'all want to check it out, it's available now on YouTube. But with that being said, the character of your girl Shelby worked the hell out of my nerves. That's all I can say. Other than that, and then the first episode, it was kind of slow, but then it kind of moved on into the second episode, which woke me up, and I couldn't help but keep watching it, after that. And I was like, oh, it's really moving along now. But overall, I absolutely enjoyed it, and I will definitely go back and watch it again.
Okay. I don't know if I got a second round in me because Shelby worked my damn nerves. I ain't even gonna lie to you. And I think it's only because I came off of the book where she really worked my nerves. And because I felt like they gave her too much grace on this particular, because I just feel like she got too much grace. Like, I feel like Shelby was doing too much, but we'll talk about that in a little bit, y'all. But overall, I think it was a good watch. Shout out to everybody in the chat besides the trolls. Shout out to Candy Love in the building. Thank you guys for coming through. If you guys are going to be watching this on the replay, please make sure to go ahead and type in #replay squad and just let us know what you thought about it. If you catch this a little bit later, But we're gonna start out and talk about the. Let me get my slides. We're gonna talk about and this was a beautiful cover too, by the way. I love this cover. We're going to talk about our first impressions over these characters, which is the perfect thing to lean into. I want to talk about, just go through each one and just give me your thoughts over what you thought about just the character in general. Tika, Kay, and then Tamika.
Okay. Leonard, he was honest for a little bit. He was honest. I like this character. His character was a comedian, and he was also a school teacher. I loved him more in his element of being or a substitute teacher. I loved him more in that element versus the whole comedian thing. But he made some people laugh, and I was like, okay, let's see what he doesn't have the most. He's not the richest, but for me, he was given potential. Shelby, I have nothing good to say. My mama said, if you don't have nothing good to say about nobody, don't say nothing at all. So I'm gonna keep my opinion reserved right now. I'm gonna just keep my mouth shut on Shelby. Deborah, her expectations was high, but there's nothing wrong with having high expectations. And you just sometimes you gotta let them expectations go. So I was cool with her. Tyrell just wanted to be loved. He wanted to be loved. He found love. He thought he found love in the wrong woman at one point, and then he ended up getting the same type of woman in Shelby. And I was like, wait, what? Wait a minute, what the hell? So but again, anything Rodrigo does, I'm gonna love it anyway. He did an amazing job. Just being Tyrell. He made me want to cry sometimes. I was looking in his eyes like, boy, you don't have to take that. You do not have to take that. So, yeah, just my first impression of the characters.
Okay, that's what's up. Okay.
I'm on mute. I definitely love Ron Rico, and everything he does. I want him to just shine and get so much more recognition and work, because he's one of those actors that I feel like is like Black famous. Like, I need him to be like famous, because he's been in the game for a long time and he's a really good actor. And I love to see him in roles, and he did a really good job of playing Tyrell. I was here for his character. I was here for it. Let's move to the other guy, Leonard. I'm sorry. He was fine in Insecure. He's fine now. Every time I see him, he's just fine. So he can't do no wrong in my eyes. I was here for it. Okay. I usually don't go for the potential, but he was out. It ain't like he was sitting around bumming like the other dude that was, that Shelby was with. Like, Leonard was out here working. Like, he was out here busting his ass in these streets, trying to make it. So I appreciate that part. And he was generally a good guy. Yeah. Deborah, that was some kind of introduction to her. Like, that's how we run into our ex.
Okay, that's crazy.
I wouldn't have been able to keep it together the way that she did, because as soon as he would have popped in, I'd have been like, somebody else can nurse. Somebody else come on in here. I wouldn't have been able to do it. And I appreciate that she knew what she wanted, but she was able to. She started to be open-minded about it. Like, when she kind of realized that just because you say you want XYZ, don't be so closed-minded that you can't accept something different that might actually be good for you, and not just what you think might be living up to a certain standard.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm so glad that y'all said that Shelby got on y'all nerves too, because I ain't want to be the one to say it. I ain't wanted to just be me, because I kept thinking in my mind, is it just me? Because in my mind, I kept calling her Misty Knight the whole time. My Luke Cage fans, y'all know her from Luke Cage, but I'm just like, come on now, Misty. You're doing too much here. Like, she was just, if we ever get a backstory, because there's got to be some heavy trauma that she's carrying around, that she acts the way that she acts. And I know all the rest of them got their little issues and little things, little toxic tendencies, but like, she was holding on to like a whole lot of trauma, to where she was just projecting toxicity out to other people, even her own friend, and like, none of it was healthy. I'm like, that if there was one person that should have went to therapy in this movie, it should have been Shelby, because I don't feel like she healed enough for me. I don't know about y'all, but I feel like she wasn't healed enough to have gotten with Tyrell.
Exactly, girl, not at all. And we're gonna talk about that mess too. Tamika, first impressions over these characters.
Yes, it's funny because when I first started watching, of course, I thought the situation how we started with Deborah was absolutely freaking crazy. But I was thinking like, okay, I'm here for Deborah and Leonard. And I actually was kind of, even though it started out, crazy with Shelby and Tyrell, I was kind of feeling they vibe a little bit more than I was Deborah and Leonard. I was like, all right, where we going with this? But then it didn't take long for Shelby to pretty much work my damn nerves, and I was feeling like everybody else does. Already said something, and I'm like, yes, please get her to the damn therapist ASAP. Okay, we need everything. She need to be on somebody's damn couch, but I love Leonard. I was kind of like thinking since Deborah did have all of these, this long list and all these things she looking for, I was really expecting her to kind of curve him and diss him and give him some of the attitude that Shelby be giving. But when it was all said and done, she actually, even though she had these standards and things that she wanted, which like y'all already mentioned, is nothing wrong with that. She actually just saw him for who he was and was like, wait a minute, like I'm over here, but my mind is literally on you. Okay, I want to be where you are. And I wasn't mad at it. And like y'all mentioned about Ron Rico, please give this man his flowers. Shine a light on him like he been doing the damn thing. I love him and I loved him in this. It was no different. And I was like, yeah, get rid of Shelby. She don't deserve your love. Okay.
Okay, girl. The way I was mad at how I was mad at the way they ended this in the book. I was mad at the way they ended this in the show because I felt like he just didn't get what he deserved. I feel like I don't care if this is her friend because at this point I don't like her, but I don't care if this is her friend. If you don't deserve him, you just don't deserve him. Like he doesn't deserve to be treated the way that he was being treated, especially the way that Tyrell came. This was like Kay said earlier, this was a really good representation of Black men, and I enjoyed this. And I guess that's why I was so mad that we had this. Ugh, Shelby irked my soul. Yeah, I just got.
But y'all know it usually got to be the opposite. So if they gave you the good man, then you got to have the woman
exactly. Exactly.
The toxic ass woman. Yes.
Exactly, girl. And I was just like, oh, here we go. But yeah, I loved Leonard. Love that Leonard was trying. Like he was gonna get to his dream and that he wasn't putting a lot of pressure on himself to get to his dream. You could tell that he really wanted it. And when people really want it like that, but they're not being what's the word I'm looking for? I can't find the word I'm looking for, but it's like he wasn't pressing it. It was like, I'm just doing what I love. If it happened, it happened. And he was okay with the joke being, okay, yeah, I'm broke, but, he was still doing what he loved. And I love that for him. And I felt like he got everything he deserved. Shelby passed. Deborah, I enjoyed the character Deborah. I thought that Deborah was great. I love the fact that they did not make her be so blindsided by this list that she couldn't see that this had the potential of being like a really great guy for her. And she didn't curb him, did not give him her number or any of that stuff at the car wash. I love that. And then Tyrell, I thought that when I first started reading the book, I thought maybe Tyrell was going to be like that typical character that was going to be player, da, 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 da. But Tyrell was actually an example of how sometimes people can make a good man go when they've been hurt a whole lot. And I believe that he kind of, he was right there in that realm and not even really wanting to be that guy, but just trying to protect himself at this point. And I think there's a lot of people out there that happens to. So I enjoyed it though. It was really, really good. But let's go ahead and move on to the exes, because why not? We meet the exes first. So first we met Shelby and Bryce. Okay. Ex reality, I believe it was reality TV if I'm not mistaken, but something kind of TV he was on. Then we had Jasmine the jump off, that's what I'm calling her because that's what he called her, and Leonard at the comedy show. We had Tyrell and Lisa, and I can't remember what Deborah's ex actual name was because he was so trash. I didn't even take the time. I didn't even care. He's just her ex, right? and she meets him with his baby mama. And it's been less than a year, and this lady is almost 6 months pregnant, which means that it hasn't even been it's been a year since they've been broken up, but it hasn't even been a year since he decided that he wanted to all of a sudden be a family man when he told her he did not want to be. Then we have, of course, Tyrell and Lisa being the married one, going back to her abusive husband. And then we have Jasmine, who is stuck on the fact that Leonard is broke and can't see anything outside of that or whatnot. They just weren't meant to be together. And then, of course, we have Shelby and Bryce. He's just doing too much. What are y'all thoughts just about these couples in general? I'm going to start with you, Tamika. Any of the couples, any thoughts on these exes, rather?
Well, with Deborah, I knew it was something as soon as she gave the look when he walked in there with this patient, because it seemed like her and the patient seemed like they had a pretty good, relationship, and she was so thrown off in the body language and everything before they even started talking. I was like, what is going on here? And then when he came with she wanted a black doctor, and I'm sorry, and we finding out, you done moved and got everything that you told me 2.5 seconds ago you didn't want. Get up out my damn face, and I'm not gonna be her doctor no more. I'm like, Lord have mercy. Shelby, child, listen, I don't even know if her man was bad or not, but yeah, he was in here playing around in the damn house while she out working. So she's like, yeah, no, it's a no for me, dog. I ain't got it to do. I felt like Tyrell, he just was being led on with this lady. I was glad when he just rolled the damn window up, because how you telling me you going back to your husband, but you like, we can still see each other, right? I don't know what the hell we was expecting there. And I get it that sometimes you be like, oh, you broke, you ain't making no money, and you ain't doing nothing. But again, with Leonard, he just seemed like he was trying. Now, if you was at home, like how Shelby's man was, and you throwing parties or whatever the hell he had going on, but ain't no money going in, then that would be something different. So, that's pretty much how I felt about that.
Tikadushi, thoughts on any of these exes?
Girl, Bryce was in there trying to be a rap star. He done went from tattoo artist to comic book artist to trying to be a rap star, and it was a no for her. It would, to me, for Shelby, it's just like no man was gonna be good enough for her. So I didn't know, I ain't gonna blame it all on him, because she chose him, you know what I mean? But Deborah and her ex, Mr. Terrell Carter, how dare you get on the screen and do this to this woman, and you allow your fiance, that this doctor is your ex. So how dare you allow your woman? I don't care. I know, hell, it's got to be more black women doctors in that area somewhere. Do your research. Why play in Deborah's face? And why would you play in her face like that? You knew what you were doing. You pretty much, you gave me the impression that you wanted to hurt her. And if I see in the street, it's on and popping. Lisa and Terrell, shout out to Demetria McKinney. I love her. She could do no harm, no wrong to me. I hated when she was on Housewives of Atlanta, wanted to beat a couple of people down because of her. But anyway, her and the husband, the situation she was in, again, unfortunately, Tyrell chose somebody that couldn't really give him all of what it was he was actually looking for. And for her to have the audacity to say, can we still be friends? Can we still kick it? No, we can't kick it. Yeah, what I could do is kick you out my face right now. I hated to see the hurt on his face behind her, and then or because of her. And Jasmine and her friend, they did not have to go to the club and act a fool in front of Leonard like that. They did not have to call him out about being broke and all of the things. But I love his clapbacks. Yeah, I'm broke. And to the rest of the audience, y'all can throw some money up here on the stage, because I'm sure gonna take it and spend it. I loved he was able to, just say, ignore her, she'll jump off, and keep it moving, keep his momentum going regardless. Somebody else would have shook them, and they wouldn't have been able to continue on. So yeah, that's about it for the exes.
That's what's up. Shout out to Renee Beckham. I'm gonna read this one real quick. She said, I wonder if this is the book where I was so mad with the ending that I emailed Eric Jerome Dickey to tell her about himself. Girl, I could not pass that up. Girl, no, you
Wow.
didn't. Love it.
I ain't never been that mad at an
love it.
author before.
Listen. The petty.
I'm not
I'm
mad at
here
that.
for all of it. And if you be here at the end, Renee, I'll tell you how it worked out in the end on the book, because I am interested to see if if you emailed him about this book, because girl, I was pissed off. Can you email him again for me? Okay, thoughts over these exes?
Well, yeah, I already touched on Deborah and her raggedy ass ex, because it's as quickly as he would started a family with this new lady, he was seeing her all along. It's giving I was seeing both of y'all at the same time, and then just her, which goes to show me that eventually he's gonna start cheating on that woman anyway, especially now that she done get, once the baby come out, he ain't gonna do nothing but cheat on her too. So she don't need to consider that a loss. Yeah, we ain't gonna spend no time on Shelby and this raggedy ass, because why was you with him anyway? What did you even see? And you can't even call that potential. You call that one dusty.
I guess it was because of that. Remember, they said that he was like was on some TV show at first, so maybe that's when she got with him, and then later when he fizzled out. Because remember, her friend was up there trying to hype him up. I was like, okay. Because when we got to him, I was like, yeah.
He don't look like he been to work in 6 to 9 months. Is what.
Because she said he kept changing what he wanted to do.
It's giving he been sitting at the house for a long time. Is what it's giving. Especially when she be gone, just over there having parties while she on the airplane and stuff. Yeah, no, he was dusty. Don't ever go and think that you gonna get into a verbal altercation with a comedian. Y'all seen what happened to that lady with Cat Williams at one time. Don't start with comedians, because they gonna get you back. They stay ready with the jokes. They're quick on their feet. They think. So don't think you finna go and outdo somebody that's a comedian. He's standing there with the mic. This is his job. Y'all came in there to try to say something. All y'all did was add to his material, make the show better. All y'all did was add to the value of the show. That was the wrong thing to do. The Tyrell is that lady that he was saying. I felt like we was gonna get some more her story. I felt like there was gonna be something else there. I just knew it was gonna be that her husband was gonna do a little bit more. I feel like I would have liked to see something happen a little bit more with her husband, because the way he looked at her, that had to be a horrible marriage, to the fact that she still wanted to hold on to this man. Because if you wanted to hold on to this man so well, then you should have stayed there with him. Like it could, like he's not gonna continue to want it. And at some point, he had to say, whatever you got going on is kind of dangerous, and I don't want to involve myself in it. And actually, you shouldn't either. You shouldn't be there either. But I can't be associating with you and somebody that's violent, because it could have turned real ugly for Tyrell.
It really could have. I mean, that's how these weirdo situations happen, when people, like, in other words, if you marry, just either you gonna get a divorce or not, or legally separated. I don't even care if you're legally separated, whatever the case is. But don't be playing games to where people can get hurt. Like, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
Because that man looked like he was just ready to go. I was like, hold on, Tyrell, can you fight? Can you box? Okay, yes. I need to know. But then we get the friends, guys. So then we learned that, of course, Tyrell, I'm going to say Nathan. Tyrell and Darren. My bad. I had a Nathan moment. Tyrell and Leonard are friends, and they are best friends. They've known each other since they were kids. And then, of course, Deborah and Shelby are friends. They've known each other since college. We see Shelby go over after her little debacle with her man, and she lays in the bed with Deborah, something that she probably does all the time whenever she has these episodes with whomever she's with. And then, of course, we have Nathan. Damn it. Nathan, get out of my mouth. Be gone. Leonard, who I'm sorry, Leonard, who is telling Tyrell, like, look, you go for these women on purpose because you want people who are not going to be available so that could be the excuse. It's like, this is what you're using instead of dating someone that's single. So it looks like this is also his MO. I want to know y'all thoughts about these friends. I'm going to start with you, Kay, then Tamika, then Tika.
I like the accountability amongst the guys. Like, y'all don't be telling each other stuff like that. I need to see more of that, holding each other accountable instead of the guys and, you know, these red pill podcast guys that make it seem like it's all a woman's fault and she do this and she do that and they think they the prize and all of that. No, be accountable and say and tell each other about y'all selves. Because if you don't, you're never going to push yourselves to do better. Instead of just sitting complacent in toxicity, we need to have more of those real open conversations. Like, no, you only went after her because she was unavailable, and you got your walls put up because if somebody might be too available, then your commitment issues is gonna start showing up. That's why you with her, and then him being able to be accountable for him as well to say, like, if you're gonna go after, because Leonard's problem was he was like, if I ain't got my ish together, then I'll go after somebody else who ish ain't together. And Tyrell's like, that's not always the best thing, because how y'all gonna level up in that manner? Like, how y'all gonna pull each other up if y'all both ain't got nothing? How is that gonna push each other forward? Like, it's okay to say, I may not be there yet, but I'm working on it. And it's okay to not be intimidated by a woman that does have her stuff together. Because I just believe that maybe he did want someone like that, but he might have been intimidated by a successful woman. And that counted him out almost the same way that Deborah was counting herself out from guys who may not have gotten all their stuff together yet, and she did. They were counting out the other party because of this thing.
Yeah.
And so I like that they were able to hold each other accountable in that manner. And I was glad to see that Shelby and Deborah did have each other. Like, they was road dogs. Like, hey, I'm a roll with it. You gonna come with me this place? I'm gonna come with you this place. You need somebody to talk to? You need to come over here and get away? Let's do that. That's real friendship. When somebody actually say, I need you there to support me. Like, sometimes you just need to be there. They actually really were there for each other, and not on a Real Housewives superficial, I'm only there for brunch and arguments and trips. But like, when we really need each other, when we're going through something, somebody's actually there to listen.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love that. And that's the type of friendships that you really want anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, those other friendships they just what they are. They're not even friendships. They are acquaintances, people that's like whatever you want to call it, but they're not real friendships. Tamika?
Yeah, I agree with everything Kay said. I love the friendships. I love seeing them being able to be vulnerable with each other, open with each other, calling each other out, saying, if you keep doing the same thing, how you expect to get a different result. I love seeing Shelby. At this point, Shelby was still okay with me. I love seeing her come over to Deborah and climbing in the bed. I said, I haven't had one of those days with my bestie in a minute. Okay, make me want to go over the house later. Like, I was loving the vibe. I was loving the energy of, her just waking up like, girl, it's been one of those days, huh? You had one of those days too. And she got to tell her about the craziness, that she done experienced with what was his name? I don't even remember his name, the raggedy ass that had his baby mother there and all of that. So yeah, I was.
Oh no, you talking about the other guy. I thought you were talking about Shelby's guy. Oh, I don't know that dude ain't got no name. He's a no name.
But they both basically got to vent about, like, yeah, girl, I had to get rid of him, and I'm not gonna have her as my patient. And we talking about choosing us, putting ourselves first, doing what's best for us. So I liked all that part.
And I wasn't mad at her for that either. Yeah. Like, you gotta do what's best for you. Tikadushi, any thoughts over these friends?
I agree with both ladies in regards to the friends. There's nothing else I really can say other than the fact that when Shelby just went into now that's a hell of a friend and a very trusting person. She just literally just went into the room. She had this whole face mask on, and she automatically knew that it was Shelby getting into bed with her. But somebody like me, I don't care how many friends I got that's got a key to the crib and can just My nerves would have been on edge. I would have been, who the hell is that? And then, because like, girl, wait a text message just to at least let me know you on the way. But that was just the nature of their friendship, that, you know, she trusts her so much to know that, you know, only one particular person is going to come in the house this time of night, because it has happened before. So I even though, again, Shelby is not my favorite, but I do love the friendship. And just as Kay was saying, I love the accountability that Leonard was holding Tyrell, you know, holding his feet to the fire, like, listen, this is what it is. I also like the friendship though. And I'm sure we'll say this again, but when Leonard went to, you know, he ended up meeting Shelby, and he didn't have any money. He was like, hey man, can you give me a little loan so my money don't overdraft, or so my account don't overdraft? So clearly that went through. But I just love the nature of their friendships. They can come to each other for pretty much anything at this moment.
Yes. And don't put that on Shelby. That was Deborah. Don't do that. I can't stand Shelby. Can't stand her.
True. Yeah, Deborah. Yeah.
Okay, so as we get, you know, we got through all of the friendships, the exes, because that's kind of how it starts out. But then we talked about this a little bit, where Deborah is trying to meet a guy, right? And so she's going to this matchmaking service, and the lady is kind of like, listen, you're gonna have to lower, like, you're asking for this, and this. I don't really like how the lady was coming at her either. Like, although I felt like Deborah may need to be a little more open, it's okay for what she wants. The thing is about it is that I think it was Kay who said this earlier, that sometimes you think you want something, but that is not necessarily what you need, or what you think you want may not just be what you want, because that package might be wrapped up all the wrong way. You know, so I have no problem with her wanting these things. That is great that she knows exactly what she wants and how she wants it. However, I would have had a problem if she wasn't open to something different. Now, in this particular thing, I'm paying my money. I might not be open to nothing else either. I ain't gonna lie to you, because she probably paying a pretty penny for this type of personal matchmaking service. So I'm not mad at Deborah. Anybody have any thoughts over how the lady how she kind of came to her, like, listen, you're gonna have to lower your standards if you want to open pool? It don't matter. Whoever want to speak, if you got something to say.
But look, if that's the expert, if she's the expert in that field, if she's the expert in that, she might be letting her know, like, I know you want to find somebody and you want to find a good man, but is there any way you can loosen the reins on some of these? I'm not saying just accept, you know, another Dusty, because you've already been there, done that. But I'm just saying, open your mind up to some other possibilities is what I feel like she was doing. I don't feel like she was trying to offend her at all, but I feel like she felt like she was getting offended because she was striving for something that might not have been there. And it turns out she kind of actually was. Although all her criteria met on paper, it still wouldn't have made you happy in the end.
Yeah, I can feel that. We got to move on to the meat though, because Deborah is out here trying to pay, you know, get your phone. Like, that's what we do these days, right? We tap to pay. But some of these systems, they just don't have that tap. And I don't understand. Y'all need to get it together. Get the tap. Who doesn't have tap now? But anywho, and so here we go, Leonard to the rescue, and this is how they meet. You know, they meet up. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. For a second, I was like, is she gonna give him her number? Is she not? Like, because she kind of looking at him, but he was fine. So, I mean, how you not gonna give Leonard your number? I promise you, I'm gonna stop calling him Nathan. At some point, it's gonna stop. But right now, that's all I see is Nathan. If you know, you know. Shout out to all my insecure fans out there. Anywho, I love the way they met up. I thought it was really, really cute. I loved him, you know, going forward. He thought about what Tyrell said and he asked for her number. And I did love that moment, Tika, where he like, look, hey Tyrell, I'm gonna need you to send me some money, because his account is about to be overdrawn because he done paid for this car wash. Tamika, what are your thoughts over the meetup? Do you hear me? I don't know if she hear me, but Tika, you go ahead.
I'm
And
sorry. Yeah, I heard you. I
Okay.
was trying to turn this thing down because it just blasted and came out of nowhere. I'm like over here fighting with it.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I like the meetup. I like how, he came to the rescue, even though he really didn't have it to give because we hear him calling up Tyrell as soon as he finished, like, yo, can you please send me something? But, he did what he needed to do in that moment. And then he was like, let me shoot my shot. Hey, can I get your number while I'm here? He talking about how he do his, comedy. I think he invited her to the show and he said he teach on the side and it was cute, and he's cute. So I would have
Yes.
been like, "Yeah, go ahead, put your number in, okay?
Okay.
Down my number."
Okay. Leonard. Oh, whoa. Fast here. Okay, and then Tika, let's talk about this other meetup because they met at the bathroom like Tamika said, he invited her to the comedy show, which I was kind of skeptical if I was like, oh, dog, is this going to make her bring her guard down now that she knows he's a comedian? But she didn't, right? She was caught up in them eyes because them eyes is gorgeous. But anyway, then we get over here with get over here with Shelby and Tyrell, and they have this awkward meetup because he's trying to go into the men's bathroom, but she's like, I was in line, and he's like, it's the men's bathroom though. This was the moment that I was like, girl, I know I'm not gonna like you. I really know I'm not gonna like you. I started right here. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Just doing team too much. Tika, thoughts over their meetup?
Yeah, it was that moment for me as well. Cause I'm like, girl, how you gonna just leave over the men's bathroom over this man? Like, what are you doing? And if he wasn't a real man, she probably would have got cursed out and slung on the floor. But because he was the man that he was, he was like, okay, whatever. I'm gonna just stand here. I'm gonna hold it. I'm gonna take it. He literally doing the antsy dance, like he really got to go, like he really has to go to the bathroom. And then when the other lady comes out the bathroom, he's like, F it. I might as well. We switching roles right now. I got to go. And he goes into that other bathroom. So I thought I just knew, I was just like, is that a turn on for him or something? Like, she's aggravating. She's toxic already. It was just too much. Toxic as hell. I just wanted to throw her, put on top of a cliff and push her because she was just too much. But he liked it.
He did. He really did. Okay, that's the question there. I'm trying to see if I had this slide that I wanted to have, but I don't know if I have it. We'll talk about it in here. I'm gonna come to UK. So they go on their first kind of date, right? Okay, so after the whole meetup at the club, they're supposed to go to this at the comedy club. They're supposed to go to a club, and Brenda, where I get Brenda from? Yeah, I don't know where. I'm just throwing up names now. Deborah gets called away because she's a doctor on call, right? And she gets called away because baby's on wait. And so Leonard, of course, is like, I ain't trying to be no third wheel. So now they're at the club. They end up getting kicked out the club because dude tried to come up on her and he started the fight, but Tyrell have to finish the fight and they get kicked out and they end up going to like a little food truck situation and they have, a nice little conversation. What are your thoughts about their kind of first-ish date, I would say? Ish.
What an adventure that they had from, meeting up and having some tension there at the bathroom and then, sitting through the comedy show and then, going to this, this little club and then having a little sit down conversation. That's the kind of first hangout, chill time together that you want. They spend like a lot of time together in a couple of different environments to sit and get to know each other. And for you to spend this much time with somebody you just met, you have to have been vibing with them. And I wanted them to vibe out, and I wanted there to be something there.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I ain't gonna lie, I was like, okay, maybe that's just was her little first impression, but I ain't gonna lie, she rubbed me the wrong way. And then, hold on, let me just go through my thing. Okay, no, I don't have it. Okay, so we're gonna talk about it here. And then Tamika, she rubbed me the wrong way again when we have the car conversation. So we get back to wherever, I don't know, I guess he's dropping her off in her car and have they had the conversation yet? No, they haven't had the conversation yet. Never mind. I do have a slide for it. I thought I had a slide for it. We'll get to that conversation later. We're gonna move on over to this other first date. I got the cars mixed up. Not the first. I want the second car conversation, not this one. Then they have their first kind of ish date, okay, and it was cute, and I love his shirt. I got some Black Excellence shirts, guys, as well. If you like the vibe, if you like that design, I got that exact design. It's cute. But they had their first kind of kiss, like right from the jump. You can tell that they're feeling each other. I loved everything about them. I don't have anything to add. I just love them. Period. You on mute.
Oh, me.
No. Tamika, on mute. Okay, go ahead, Kay. And then we'll come back.
I liked it too because I like him, so I thought everything about this was cute. And I was just because, some things like the Tyler Perry stuff will get you prepared for some foolishness and some drama and trauma to happen. And I just kept saying, please don't let nothing bad happen. Like, please just let them have a good old-fashioned time. Let them vibe together. Let him be sweet. Let her not do anything toxic or bring out her own trauma because of this. Like, let them just have a nice, this is our first date and being in the space of how you feel when you first start liking somebody. Yeah. Like, give us the taste of how infatuated you are with the person and how much you want to impress them and how much you're into them. Like, I just wanted to just sit in the moment, and they did let us sit in that.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the little walk they went on and the conversation they had. Like, I just felt like everything about their first date was just so cool. And you could tell that they had this chemistry right from the jump. And I love that because people need chemistry. You cannot not have chemistry. Like, it's just, like the worst. And we'll talk about that with Shelby later. But anyway, I love this. I love how nervous he was when he goes to the bathroom. He really didn't have to go to the bathroom. He was just nervous. And she was nervous and she was just all excited and giddy. It was just so gosh darn cute. Tamika, I'm gonna come over to you with the shady mechanic because then we have Deborah and Tyrell linking back up because after she went through all that, remember she talked about how she was about to be celibate and all of this type of stuff, and she wasn't messing with no man and she wasn't gonna give him his number. That we just went through a whole thing. She ends up calling him to help her with the shady mechanic, right? What did you think about just this scene in general?
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm having technical difficulties right now.
Oh, okay. Tika, you go ahead.
Yeah, it was a real moment because these shady ass mechanics, they for real be trying to take advantage of women. When you go to their shop or whatever, they'll try to charge you for stuff that you don't really need or try to recommend that you do something. So I'm glad she had a man, even though she didn't want to, really want to mess with him like that. But I'm glad she had a man on speed dial that she could actually call and say, hey, run this game for me. I just want you to take my car in and see whether or not, this guy is going to do you the way that he just did me. And sure enough, he ends up telling them, oh, he told her she needed a transmission, but he told him, oh, you just need an oil change and you'll be good. And so I love when she hopped out the back of the seat, like Psycho said, like, I knew it. I knew you were, basically trying to get me for my money. And so, he was there for her. And so I think she's attracted to him. You could tell she is attracted to him, but she's kind of like playing hard to get because of her, whatever past trauma she does have. But hey, they went on and did some things, and we'll get to that part. But I like that he was there for her. I definitely like that he was there for her. And that's hey, listen, can I get your number so I can call you in case something happened to my car, so I can get you to check some of these men for me, okay, Tyrell? I'm just asking.
Shady mechanics they do the absolute most. What's funny is that how it's a transmission and her car is actually running. Come on, sir. Let's just be for real. Like, come on, what are we doing here? Like, her car's running, it ain't doing no, like, I think when your transmission is messed up, I think it does like a hard jerk type of situation, and that just might not even work it out. Like, it would be she wouldn't be driving that mug around smoothly. It wouldn't be like just, oh, I just need an oil. It wouldn't have been, yeah, you would have known something was wrong. Yeah, the mechanic was doing too much. But you know, it is what it is. But then we take Shelby on a little adventure, right? We take her on to this hotel, and we pretend like we the people. Hey, listen, they was giving out free massages. Hey, I'm gonna take this free massage, right? They do spontaneous stuff, right? And then, you know, something happens, they get a little down and dirty. And then on the opposite side over here, we have them going to donation drop-offs and going to pick up the dry cleaning, taking a walk, having this conversation. It feels like these relationships started out very, very different. One almost with a more of a foundation, because we're going to get to know each other and we're going to talk to each other. And one where we're going to go ahead and get this physical attraction. We just go there. And I'm not saying that either one is right or wrong. I'm just saying that when it comes to certain stuff, sometimes a foundation can build to something else. Whereas the way that Shelby was feeling afterwards, we saw all her trauma come up. I mean, every last single bit of it, even though that wasn't even the vibe. But it is what it is. Any thought? Is your thing working, Tamika?
I don't know, girl. My son was cooking, and he got all the smoke detectors going off in the house.
Oh, that was yours, girl. I thought that was my smoke detector. I was like, did my smoke detector just go? That was yours. Okay.
Okay, just everything is happening all at once, but I might have a little toxicity in me because I was feeling Shelby and Tyrell's date. I was okay with it. I was over here with the giggles. I'm like, okay, girl. Up until that point when she got mad after the massage item, then she lost me. But previous to that, I was like, all right, he done came and helped you with the car because yes, they will play in your face. I'm so happy. I got a girlfriend that know all about the cars. They be mad when they see her coming, okay? and because they will try to play with you sometimes. And at first I was confused with Leonard and Deborah's day because I was like, wait a minute, we picking up the cleaning stuff, you know, we dropping off, we doing donations. I'm like, is this a day? What's happening? But I like that he didn't care. He just was there. They were smiling, they taking pictures in between, they got their vibe going. And I love the conversation that they had where he's like, the first date is the date that you should just put it out there and let it be known, because later when you get feelings, y'all may not be as honest and say as much. And even when he was kind of doubting himself with the comedy thing, and even though she may feel away, because I know at one point she asked the delivery person that was like, I'm on the show, but you still see me doing deliveries. They be broke. They ain't got no money. She still was like, the money will come later. Like, obviously, you got the talent there, you got the drive. If you keep yourself motivated and keep it going, you know, I'm paraphrasing, you'll get there. And I think that really was impressive to him, because here it is. He just finished having somebody telling him, you broke, you bum, you know, you ain't paid for it, whatever it may be. And she letting him know that she ain't worried about that, even though we just finished seeing her say all these things that she's looking for and what she wants the person to have. She just was able to enjoy the moment, and they both was giving each other good feedback. I loved all of that.
Absolutely. Okay. So I think, did my slides get mixed up? Hold on a second. Let me just, okay. No, they did not. Okay. So I want to go to, I'm trying to see if I have a slide for it or not before I go to it. Nope, I do. Yep, yes, I do. Okay, so never mind. We just gonna keep on moseying then, because I darn sure got a slide for it. Couldn't remember if I did or did not. But anyway, we at the end of the day, Deborah and she, you know, they say goodbye. They had a really good date or whatever, but she had set that other date up because, you know, just in case, let me just go see what this is hidden for. Okay, she was like, let me just go see. And then we get over here to Richard. And y'all, he was not the 1, the 2, the 3, or the 4. That man talked about himself so much. He was working my doggone nerves. Tinker will understand this when I say this, but him and Rondo would have made a great, I mean, they would just be great with each other, because he could talk about himself, and then she could talk about herself, and we could just, oh God, it irritated me. Anyway, Kathy, what did you think about this meetup, or the fact that she went from this really great date and decided to go out for the list that she wanted still, just to see? I guess she just wanted to see. She's keeping options open.
I don't blame her for going on the date. Now, see me, because she wasn't slick enough trying to slide into the date the way she could have, because she looked real suspicious. Like, that girl, that ain't player at all. You ain't slide out of there good enough. You could have had a better excuse and got out of there, and he wouldn't have suspected nothing. Okay, you're a whole doctor.
Doctor.
Exactly. You could have said, I'm on the clock tonight. So they just paging me. I got to go deliver this baby. You know what I'm saying? I hit you up when it's out here in the free world. She was real suspect. So, but I don't blame her, because right now they're still in the dating phase. Like, they ain't no titles been made or nothing been locked down. She's still free to go meet people. But when she gets to this date, she finds out very quickly, you went off on that matchmaking lady for no reason, because she was trying to tell you that just because you want this little list together don't mean you gonna get what you think you want, unless she was just out for, like, I just want somebody with money and status. Like, if you just marry him because he got a bag, then there you go. There he go. He looks like somebody who's just trying to he want a wife for status. He don't look like he's going to be a very present man. He doesn't look like he's going to be a very loving man, but you going to have wealth and you going to have a nice bank account. But she's a doctor. She don't need that. She don't need his money. She already has a good job. She's fine. That's not what she needs. And that just because he has all that doesn't mean that you're going to have a vibe with him. Like, this man was just, I don't know, bland as unseasoned colonizer food.
I cannot. Absolutely no, 100%, 100%. And just to piggyback off of that a little bit, is that, again, I don't want to say that people can't have their list, but I think that this was important for Deborah to see that the list that she had, that although she wanted all these things, and he does have a lot of these things, the most important thing that she wanted, because I just think that she just wanted somebody that was her equal, because a lot of times people feel forced to maybe have somebody that's not their equal, especially once they hit a certain status, and that's why I had a problem with the lady, because it felt like she was telling her that, listen, it ain't that many of them out there.
Tyler Perry said, the date the bus driver. Now, I ain't telling you to go do all of that. It's okay. It's okay to have some standards and stuff. But
yeah, because I didn't take it that way when the lady was saying that. I just thought, like, to me, she was caught off guard when she was even giving her the list and how long the list was. I don't think she ever, like, was accustomed to people coming with all that stuff to begin with, and she was kind of like, okay. So,
and she probably seen what people look like when they have all of that. She probably's like, all right, now if I find this person, don't be mad at what you turn out what you to get, that you asked for this. I'm the expert in this, in this field. Listen to me, and sometimes be careful what you wish for.
That's true. Oh, yeah. And yeah, I like Karan, but he wasn't the one in this one though. But with himself. But let's move on to Jasmine. So Jasmine, and she comes over, brings tacos, and she wants to apologize. And they quickly realize that they are only friends, that there's no chemistry between them, and that the only thing that they'll ever have is a friendship. But Deborah, being Deborah, decided that she was going to go find this man because she really, really liked him. So she was going to go find him, and she remembered where he said, she remembered the vicinity. She didn't know exactly where, but she remembered the vicinity of where he stayed, and she finds him. And right when she finds him, she sees this kiss. And so she automatically assumes, instead of just simply asking him and remembering that they are just in a dating phase, you just came off of a whole date. What would have happened if you really liked the man that you had this date with? Would y'all have had a good night kiss? What if he had you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all are still in a dating phase, so there are no titles, like Kay said earlier. So I didn't understand why she was so set against, she didn't want to talk to him no more. Girl, that is not your man yet. But but we're gonna get there, but that is not your man yet. Tika, any thoughts?
That's her man. That's her man, and that's her man. It didn't have to be wrote on paper that that's her man. She knew when they were in that place, almost in the bed before they went out and went to lunch or did all the things, did their little date. They was about to do some consensual things, but she stopped and was like, no, wait a minute, let's just go do our date or whatever. So she knew that the chemistry was there, and then she kind of like, I think she kind of like was I feel like she was a little more mad at herself, because she almost chose somebody else that over him, and then to see that it's a potential that he out there in the middle of the street kissing somebody, regardless, I think she should have called him and say, hey, what's up? How's it going? She didn't even have to say anything to him about the fact that she saw him kissing, simply because of the fact that she had went on her own date earlier. Like, she was doing some things too. So she kind of got in her feelings and almost lost out on a really good thing. I just have one more thing to say about Naturi. Shout out to Naturi now, and she looked so good in this movie or in this project. Like, you could tell she had lost weight and trimmed up and did all the things, but she just looked really, really pretty, really nice in this project. I like this look on her.
Yeah, she did. She had lost like 30 pounds, I believe she said, and it looks really, really good on her. So we're gonna move on over here. Tamika, are you still there, or are you
she on that Ozempic like everybody else?
Oh no, not the
I'm messing with you.
If I can get it, I would too.
Listen, okay. Tamika, so so this is the next part where I'm upset. This is a two-part. So the first part, I was like, oh, okay, I might can rock with Shelby. Okay, we let my guard down a little bit. Okay, they had a little moment. It was a great little moment. I said celibacy over like in 2.5 seconds. So why was you giving Deborah a hard time? Celibacy was over real quick. She know her friend, clearly. But then we get to the car and she has this attitude and she's mad and shit. I'm like, Tyrell, what the hell happened? What is going on? Girl, I had to rewind that thing back a couple, even though I had just read the book and I knew what it was, I still mentally had to rewind it back and say, did I miss something? Like, did he say something wrong? But then I had to think about when they had a conversation earlier when he was being a little vulnerable with her and just, just talking to her and not thinking that they were, going anywhere. He was just talking to her. And she used that conversation, weaponized that conversation here to basically just bring out all the trauma. When I tell you that this woman has so much trauma, y'all, just so much trauma. Talk about this scene, Tamika, and your thoughts.
She definitely does. And it's funny because she actually encouraged Deborah like to go over to Leonard when he was calling and inviting her over, even after seeing him kiss the girl. It was like, oh, it's probably just your friend. So she was able to be positive in that area and, encourage her to go speak to him. But then just this quick in her own situation, when they come in, everything was going great. And all of a sudden we get over here after 2 hours, you ain't talking, you pouting. It's like, obviously something is wrong. Tell me what's going on, girl. First, you want to be like, oh, no, it's nothing. You didn't do nothing wrong. And then, oh, I'm mad at myself. I'm disappointed in myself because I said I wasn't going to do anything. And you don't want no commitment. You just said that earlier. And, for me, it's her trauma, it's the fears. It's like, oh, I'm going to push him away and before he could push me away, basically. That's how I was taking it. But I was like, girl, what is all this for? Like, y'all, was just meeting each other and conversating. That didn't mean that he doesn't want anything with you. Like, you just made up a story, and I think he said something like that in your whole head and done played it out like how we be up here writing the script sometime on the shows. She done wrote a whole script in her head, and it was nothing of what he had even said or shown her so far for her to have that attitude. So, yeah, it was definitely all about her and what she was putting in her own head.
Absolutely. I'm going to come to you, Tikadushi. Can I cook for you and let's be celibate? Because, so I wrote Deborah was...
I thought that part came before this part. Sorry.
No, you did. But because that was a good point. That was a very good point to this whole thing. But you know, Deborah is about to not take this phone call. She's about to let this pass up, really about to pass up her soulmate and the love of her life, all because of what she assumed when she really had no right to make an assumption because they weren't together. Like we just talked about, they were literally just dating. So she really didn't have that space to do this. But but Shelby encourages her, like, answer the phone. Like I think she even answered the phone for her, if I'm not mistaken. She answers the phone for her and tells her to go on over here to dinner. And so they have this dinner, and next thing you know, they're about to get it on. And then just like earlier, when I said that Deborah knows her friend, Shelby also knows her friend, because she said that, like you always do, you'll get serious and then you'll put up the celibacy wall, because that's what she does. And that's exactly what she did. And it made me think about their conversation at the coffee shop. Any thoughts just over these two getting together? Because I feel like they went straight head. They go together, Tika.
Right. Yeah, they definitely go together. This man has cooked you a meal. Yeah, y'all go together. Ain't no playing around. No more games. Let's see what we can do from here. Let's see, how much further we can go. I liked it. And I also like the friendship. Shelby, even though she can come off as a hater sometimes or a toxic friend sometimes, she definitely let her friend know, listen, girl, don't miss out on your blessing. Like, this could be the one. Go ahead. And she did, like you said, EJ, she answered the phone for her, or she at least pressed the phone, turned it on, and he's like, hello. So I thought that was cute. I thought that mom was cute. And, she got her man. Man. They were stuck like glue to each other after that.
And her man actually was about to get a huge blessing, because that's why he was calling her. He wanted to tell her about this opportunity that he just got, and he didn't want to tell anybody else about it, and Shelby up to come out. I just laughed at that part. I thought it was so funny. But the thing is that you never know what's going to happen. Like, you never know who this person is going to be, especially when they're putting in the work like Leonard was putting in the work. But the fact that she wasn't worried about that is what I enjoy about it, because that part kind of went out the door when she, when she saw that she really, really had this connection with him. So I was definitely here for that. We got to move on over here, Kay, because Lisa brings her trifling cell phone. I'm not going to call her trifling. Lisa brings her cell phone over here because the man, he done put his hands on her. Now, he was on the phone. He done called Shelby up and everything. And, he's still trying to talk to her. And this is when I'm mad at him. I'm like, why are we calling Shelby? Because the way she acted in that car, sir, run. Do not walk. Just run. Just let it go. But he done called her. And now they on the phone together. Did you have any thoughts just around this particular scene at all? It wasn't a whole lot, but.
Don't neither one of them heifers deserve Tyrell, okay? Neither one of them. Shelby had an attitude problem for no reason. He was actually really calm when she had an attitude. He was like, hey, we just had a really nice day. Like don't ruin it. Like he still had patience, because any other dude would have been like, this. You raggedy. It would have went off, but he's just like, hey, like it's okay, like I'm gonna be here, whatever. And she's just literally like, get out of my car. Like, nah, this is a good guy, because he could have went off. Yeah. He could have called her all types of out of her name, and he didn't. Also too good for her, because why are you coming over here instead of calling the police?
That part. Okay.
What are you here for? Okay. What are you here for? You mean you have nowhere else to go? And first of all, how did he put you out? What do you mean? You go to your house and then put him out? What? That's not the way you do it. You put him out. You go in your house and you call the police and have them come and pick him up over to your house. Y'all hoes did not deserve this black man.
Okay, at all. Hold on, I think I missed So then we get into we kind of I guess they gonna try to work it out, whatever they gonna try to do. I don't know. I was over it. I was so done with it. Anyway, we move on into part 2, right? We get into part 2, and then immediately we've been teased with these little flashes of this accident that looks like it's happening, and these police officers and the police lights and stuff like that. So that's kind of how this one starts. But then they go back 2 years earlier, and we see that they're like looking at a house. Deborah and Leonard, of course, his career seems to be, taking off. And I don't know, it's just a really cute moment. We see that they've been together. And then we also see that the other two that moved in together. And I'm just like, Lord Jesus, help me. So anyway, I just thought that this was all just kind of setting the vibe for where we are. And then we're going to move on to get into some of the more juicier parts. This was sweet right here. I love the proposal. I love how she let the proposal happen. All right. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in a little bit. But Tamika, I loved how she let, you know what, we're gonna talk about it now. I love how she let this proposal happen as opposed to Shelby, who would not allow or let the natural thing just take place. I don't know. What did you think about the proposal, Tamika?
I thought this was cute. She was super excited. She was saying yes already. He was like, let me talk. Because she wasn't expecting it. She just here, they looking at the house. He's saying this is, a little above our budget. This is a lot above our budget. But he did like the closet and certain things. And we want to go ahead and we want to get a little intimate, even though we said we wasn't going to be getting intimate. She was like, take me right now. I thought somebody was going to come in the house to look at the house, to be honest. I'm like, did y'all lock up the damn doors? But I loved when he just was like, you're my person. You're the one that I want to spend the rest of my life with. I was like, oh, it was beautiful.
She was trying to seduce that man to get that doggone house. That's what really happened. I said, girl, you trying to seduce this man. Don't be taking it back now. You done it.
Mm-hmm. What they said, you gotta use what you got to get what you want.
Okay. And that's what she did. I said, you know what you was doing, had that little leg up. No, that man couldn't concentrate. He sit up there trying to concentrate, and you got that leg up. I said, girl, you might as well just go ahead and, because that man is gone.
He would agree to anything. He would have went to the courthouse that day if you would have wanted him to.
Okay, that part. So anyway, Tika, let's get to the wedding, because we get to the wedding, and this is when Shelby officially starts to just, I'm done at this point. There's no coming back for me after this part. We get to the wedding. The wedding is pretty and everything. And of course, you know that Deborah has other friends as well. And, we're having conversations at the table. Some money conversations come up as far as the things that, different people are doing. And then more of Shelby's insecurities come out. She gets a little bit jealous of these other friends, and it's just a lot. And then she finds out in this moment that, listen, Tyrell, like, he be saving money, okay? Like, he ain't broke. He be saving his coins, okay? But she didn't know about this. And so just kind of talk to me about just this whole vibe and Shelby.
I mean, Shelby just, like, she simply put, she worked my nerves. Like, just because you don't have your ish together doesn't mean that nobody else can have their ish together. You're mad because your man saved money. You're mad because the other friends are going to go with them on their honeymoon. You're mad because your man said that we got money we can go to. Like, when at what point is it that Shelby is going to be happy? Like, at what point? Just because you're not satisfied or happy in your own life with your own self-progression, why take it out on other people? And unfortunately, Tyrell is the one that seems to get the blunt of all of her issues. But hey, regardless of Shelby being a hater, we still gonna get out here on this dance floor and we're gonna party like it's 1999, okay?
Okay.
So she was definitely using him as a punching bag.
Girl, and it was just so hurtful for no reason. I'm like, girl, why? I don't know. It's just it was irking my soul, this particular part. And it also gave, and I'm just gonna say it, and let me know if y'all agree or not. Maybe I'm reading it wrong, but it also gave Lightweight jealous. Like, we spent all of this time saying how much, and it also goes to and I want to say this real quick. It also goes to show about the power of words, because she spent so much time telling Tyrell over and over again about not wanting to be married. Like, what did you expect? Like, I would be scared to ask you to marry me too, because you're probably going to say no, because you've already told me a gazillion million times about not wanting to be married. And that's what Deborah tells her at some point when they're having a conversation later. But I mean, like you gotta stop saying these things. You gotta stop saying
Exactly. I'm
what.
sorry.
No, you go, girl. Go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
I was agreeing with you. I'm like, exactly. You used his words against him that he said to you, but you keep saying like you got to watch what you say out your mouth. Sometimes you keep saying you don't want this, but then you want him to be able to secretly read your mind and know you do want it, and this definitely was giving me jealousy, and then that's when I got even more pissed off. It was giving me hateration, and I was like, "That we don't do. I don't want you. Can't be my friend and want my life. You got to want me to have everything that I need and want in my life, and I the same for you. If we calling ourselves friends and sisters, once you start doing that, you lose me. Then she just became raggedy as hell. Besides the fact of the way that she already was acting towards Tyrell, which was already pissing me off. But I was like, "Oh, you nasty towards your friend. You acting like you giving me like you haterade over here with that. No, ma'am."
Yeah, Shelby was definitely feeling the way. Now she comes back, she tries to apologize to him, right? About it, and she tries to tell him, whatever. I wasn't even listening to whatever the hell she was talking about. That broad just ticked me off. I didn't even care no more at this point. I was just
She wasn't talking
done
about
with her.
nothing. She wasn't talking about
Girl, it must have not been nothing because I sure turned it off. I was like, ugh, yeah, I'm done with her. But she talked about how she feeling away, yada yada yada. Anyway, let's move on. So then we move on and we see that the married couple, they're having some fertility issues. I'm not even going to stay on here too long. They're having some fertility issues. We know the natural process a lot of people take when they get married is that we get married, and we knew that what she told him when they went on their date was the one thing that she wanted when he asked her about dreams, because she had already fulfilled her career dream. She wanted to be a mom. And so we knew that this would hit heavy, but I just love the way that he was there for her in that moment. But then on the opposite end, because this is what I was trying to get to right here, on the opposite end of it, we got Miss Shelby who done got pregnant, right? And she calls up Tyrell, right? And he does the patience thing again. And she's like, I'm just so mad at myself. Like, instead of, like, I don't understand why she wasn't using her words. And I want to get everybody's go on this right here. I don't understand why Shelby just wasn't using her words. Like, everything was negative, right? Okay, you've been living with this man for 13 months at this point, right? He hasn't went anywhere in this entire 13 months. He put up with all your ish because, child, it is some ish, okay? He put up with all of that. We were given no indication that he's done anything outside of this relationship besides try to be involved in this relationship. So I don't understand where all of the apprehensiveness comes from and why we keep projecting this negative connotation every single time about it. Instead of just saying, listen, I'm pregnant. I don't know what I feel right now, but I'm pregnant. And I mean, just something other than the negative shit that she just kept saying. Cause I was like, God, like, it's like she wanted him to say something negative back. And he didn't give her the negative that she assumed that he would say, right? Instead, he's like, there's nothing to be mad about, And then the first thing she was like, but we're not married. Well, shoot, do you want to be married? Like, in my mind, I'm asking the same questions because do you want to be married? But to her, now it's like, oh, he's just asking me because I'm pregnant. No, he asking you because you just brought it up. Like, let's just keep it real. You just said we're not married. Shoot, do you want to be married? Like, everything about this irked my soul. I'm gonna start with you, Tika, then Kay, and then Tamika. Just let me know what y'all thought about this.
Girl, my soul was irked as well. And he had already planned to marry her. He had already, talked with Jesus, what's his name? Leonard, about possibly marrying her and everything. And she just, but he didn't want, he was, getting everything down pat, getting the timing and everything. But she just lives, eat, sleep, breathe, self-destruction. She, again, toxicity is a real thing. I wish they would give us a true backstory as to what the hell happened to Shelby. Why is she like this? Like, give us some more insight into her world, into her mind, why she thinks the way that she does think. It was just like, girl, you doing too much. And the fact that y'all gonna have a baby together, that would make him, I mean, that's not the only thing. He actually likes you. Anybody that put up with somebody that's so daggone toxic for 13 plus months, they have to like you. Okay. So I just wanted her to like snap out of whatever she was dealing with, but it was a little too late for her. She was ready to pack up her ish and go. She didn't really want to be there. That's the way I take it.
Yeah. And before we move on to Kay, I do want to say this because I do think that we're going to go ahead and travel down the book. I think we should just go ahead and travel down and do this one as a book because I think it'll be a good read to see the difference in it. In the book, it does go into Shelby's thing and they changed it up in here. And I feel like if they had not have changed that up, maybe, just maybe, I probably wouldn't have because I still hated that heifer in the book. But what I'm saying is that it gives a little enlightenment into why she is the way that she is. But because they chose to go a different route with this particular story, I agree. We don't know what it really is. And if they had at least given us like where it stems from, like in the book, is her mom. So she got that mama drama issues. You know what I'm saying? So here, they don't give it to us. They say that her mom is alive, and here in the book she's not. So I think that if they had kept those things the same and then expanded upon that, like just even in just a conversation, just gave us a conversation. We need no back things, none of that. We just needed a conversation to know where this trauma comes from. But we didn't get that. So we don't really know in this particular movie where her trauma comes from because I can't treat it the same as the book at this point because I don't know. And it was pissing me off because why are we doing this to Tyrell? Why? Okay.
We can definitely see that she has trauma. Like we can see it coming out because she's projecting all of her things onto him. She keeps putting him in the place where he's in between a rock and a hard place, that whatever answer that he's going to give her is not going to be the right response. Like she's done got toxic to the point that it's giving narcissism. And she keeps gaslighting this man because no matter how hard that he's trying, it's never going to be good enough for somebody whose bar and expectations are going to keep they're going to keep moving the goalpost. Yeah. So every time you get close to it, they're going to keep shifting the goalpost. So it's just like, oh, well, we're not married. Okay, then let's get married. Well, then I don't want you to think that. Then it's like he's never going to meet her standards as long as she shifts the goalpost. Exactly. Because she's putting up her own defense mechanisms. And I wish that we would have gotten that backstory because everybody clearly sees that she is unraveling and acting out here. Like she had an attitude problem this whole time, but when her best friend got married and she started to make things about her, oh, she's not gonna need me anymore. I don't know my place anymore. And you got all this money you're hidden, and I don't know about the career that I want to have, and I don't know where I want to be headed. For somebody who's acting like they don't know what direction they want to be headed in, ma'am, you still on the plane, and then you didn't even want to take it when they said they was gonna promote you. Girl. So it looked like you're the captain of your own fate, but you're not driving the ship in the place that you want that you need to drive it. But then you want to complain that you ain't going nowhere in life. It was a whole bunch of woe is me, but she has friends that actually want to lift her up. That's the difference from most people. You have people that is like, we're going to be here for you. We're going to support you. Whatever you want to do, we're going to stay here and be your cheerleaders through it all. And she was discrediting everybody who was trying to speak life into her because she was talking about herself so negatively. There was nothing that he could have said in this moment that was going to be more powerful than the story she was already telling herself.
Exactly. I 100% agree. Tamika, anything to add on to that? Because I think I think you hit the nail on the head with that, girl.
Yeah, Tika and Kay pretty much summed it up good. And I'm glad you kind of emphasized on the difference in the book because I agree. Like, I think everybody that was watching could see the trauma and know that it's trauma, but it was like, I would really like to see more of what exactly it was because at one point when they were out on their date, they were discussing their parents and their backgrounds. And she did say something about, like, my mother was completely different. She had the degree, but didn't use it, activist and all of that. And here I am, on the plains and she ain't really feeling it. She kind of feel like I'm wasting my life, but she don't mind calling me up so I can pay her bills. That was kind of the most extent, but I'm assuming that she saw things with her mother and whatever woman in her life that she already had this type of perception. Then she does also mention to Deborah Like, I don't want him to marry me just because of the pregnancy. I want him to marry me to want to marry me. But again, like y'all already mentioned, she could have just waited and had that conversation. Like, actually waited till when she was off and saw him face to face instead of calling on the damn plane. Meanwhile, you gonna have the man that's tossing the baby to the mother lap while she was talking. I had to laugh at that. And
Girl.
it was kind of giving me Coming to America a little bit when it was like, whatever you want me to do. Like like he didn't know what to say and he didn't know what to do. He at the same time, he just wanted to show her like, okay, I'm kind of surprised at this. Are you sure? All right, then what are we gonna do with this situation? You know, now that we're here. And she just closed it off and took it like, yeah, nah, he ain't about it. He don't really want me, and I don't want to just have a baby just because, you know, whatever. Since, you know, Deborah was even trying to talk to her while they was there, like, you never know, this could change your life. And she was like, well, I don't want to have a baby for it to change my life. I got what she was saying to a certain point, and it's your body, your choice. But I definitely felt like she didn't go about it the right way. And then when she sat there lying in his face, I was like, girl, it ain't nothing else I could do for you. I was just over Shelby. I wanted more for her.
Yep, and we're gonna run right on into those conversations right there, which is the next one up. We get to the clinic. She's telling her, I don't know if he's gonna stay. Just all these things, right? All these fears that she has. And I'm not down or denigrating her fears in any kind of way. I'm not doing that because we all have our fears about something. The problem with Shelby is that this man has never showed you that. He's never showed you that this entire time. It would be different if he was flaky and any of the things, and then I would understand that, right? Like, I could understand where we would come up with this. But he's never showed us this. And this man has still been here, like Tika, so like she pointed out earlier. This man done stayed here for 13 months with her. Okay. That's saying a lot. That means this man really, really likes her, right? We learned that he did have a ring and that he was going to ask her to marry him, right? And that this has been a thought for him, right? And now we got Deborah over here at the clinic out here trying to, as Candy say, she's trying to go to the chop shop, right? And then we get his old ex who sees her there, of course, when she's popping out of the thing. And then I did have an issue with, this is where I remember earlier I told you I had an issue with the way that some of the things were written. This is where my issue comes in at. So we get back over here, and after we done told him this, we was crying and all this stuff. We get back over here, we get to the house, and we come in like there's nothing wrong. You're letting them kiss you. You just acting like it's a normal day. Oh yeah, by the way, never. False alarm, yada, yada, yada. I'm not pregnant. You just told that man on the phone, I know how to take a pregnancy test. I said, girl, the way I'm petty, I sure would have brought that up if I'm him. Girl, you just told me on the phone you know how to take a pregnancy test. So why all of a sudden now you're not pregnant? Like, what was the whole purpose of going in here and saying this? And then if we had to let things progress, if Tyrell doesn't, if he just accepts this, y'all, if he accepts it and he just keeps planning out what he was planning out, because we know this is where he was planning to propose, right? If he just keeps going and he then proposes, do the baby just come back up? And am I supposed to just be okay with this? Okay, what the hell am I supposed to do with this? Is the baby just gonna come back up all of a sudden? Because we know, we can just jump to that. We know that she lied about it. According to this, she lied about it. She hasn't had the abortion yet.
At this point, Misty Knight over here was giving me narcissism. Because number one, why didn't you read the room when you're around your friend? You're talking to your friend who is struggling with fertility issues, and you're trying to exterminate while she's sitting right there. Mm-hmm. Like, I know, like, if you don't want it, that you ain't gotta have. It's your body, your choice. But don't come complaining to somebody about something you got naturally and you're trying to exterminate because of your own issues to somebody who's been actively trying for months and crying over something that you are not appreciating what you just received here. Take that conversation to somebody else, not her. She might not be the right one. It was completely insensitive to her friend and her own struggles. Then you get there and then you lie to this man. You know what I got when I found out I was pregnant? Some prenatals. We went right to the health food store and got some prenatals. This man went and got dinner and flowers and a ring. He was ready to be right there and supportive. And you come in there talking about, oh, ain't no baby. Why did you lie? You know what that is? Narcissism is what that is. Because she didn't have to do that. Her whole thing was just to keep this man in a constant state of questioning what was going on. She had this man on pins and needles that whole time they was together. And I'm surprised that he didn't end up in therapy after dealing with her and her issues, because she didn't have to do all that. You didn't have to go flaunting your pregnancy in front of your infertile friend and then coming and telling this man who you just saw he got his hopes up thinking about, I'm ready to be a dad. Like, I can do this. We can have a family and all that. And then you come back and crush him for no reason at all. He's not toxic. He didn't cheat on you. He doesn't beat you. He's got money. He cleaned up. He washed dishes. He went and brought you flowers and stuff. And you still decided that I'm going to do something mean and spiteful for no reason anyway. That lady is a narcissist. He should have ran.
Girl, like, just imagine how that would feel for a second to tell this man a lie like this. And all I keep thinking is, what if he doesn't question it? If he doesn't question it, then he asks you to marry him, right? Because he's still going to propose to her regardless, right? He's going to do that. And then, but you're still pregnant. Like, are we finna then like make up this whole thing and all of a sudden be pregnant again? Like,
because that would, I think she would have did that on purpose, because then that would have caused the rift. Because if he would have said, okay, that's fine, I still want to marry you anyway, and then a few months later she's like, oh yeah, I am pregnant for real. You see what I'm saying? Like, she was keeping him constantly on pins and needles, like he didn't know which way to swivel, because she kept throwing stuff out his way that just did not make sense, and she had an attitude every 5 minutes. She was really messing with his mind way too much, and it was completely unnecessary. He did the right thing when he said, I'm about to take this ring back and get my money.
Okay, that part. Ticket to she. Any thoughts just over all the drama that was happening?
Well, if anybody needs an example of how to turn a good guy bad, just watch these moments with Shelby. It would. Kay said it perfectly, but yeah, it was just crazy. Even after all of that, oh, I got my cycle, all the lying, and just everything. Oh, you only want to marry me because of a baby, and like, girl, you in your head way too much. So he was like, F this. I can't. Well, we'll get to that part, but it was just too much. It was stressing me out. I was like, if I were in this situation, I would literally have to be on medication, because this is just too much.
Girl, stressed us all out. Stressed me the hell out too. Tamika, did this stress you out, boo?
Yeah, I was over it. As much as I wanted to try to understand, you can't make sense out of nonsense. And then for this, the audacity for me of her saying, you don't give me a reason to stay. Like, bitch, what? And Tika said it. Tika was right. This will turn a good guy bad. I have seen it live and in living color.
Yes, okay? It happens. And I was so pissed off at her about that. I'm like, how you gonna try to turn this? And you the one that done you the one that done did wrong, and then you trying to turn this and make this about and make him wrong.
That's what gaslighting is.
Yes.
She came in the house and immediately started gaslighting this man. And all he did was say, hey, how are you? Glad that you're back home.
Right.
And she immediately started gaslighting him.
And wasn't even a good liar. And threw Deborah in here like, oh, she says this happens all the time. And he was saying it back to her like, Deborah told you this happens. He was giving her chances.
Okay, gave you a chance to go ahead and get it together. Then now she's going to walk out and leave him. I'm like, girl, what is you looking for? You had a good man, and so now he done left, but it's exactly what Tika said. This is where this good guy goes bad, because he ain't finna do, now he finna try to be something that he not, right? But not only do we have that, we have you now that's chasing after what exactly? And I'm gonna move past this. They meet, yada, yada, yada. Old Richard is back, okay? I want to get to this part right here because 6 months after we meet him, all of a sudden now we're going to meet the parents, and now all of a sudden we want to be engaged. Like, did you just want somebody to you just wanted a ring? Like, did you just want to be married? Like, I don't understand. Like, did you not want the part that comes with the love, the care? You can't, this man, you cannot tell me that this man was giving her any of that, because the person who we meet, like when we really get a little bit more of him, says absolutely not, y'all. Absolutely not. But let me move to this part right here, y'all. Okay, so we gonna move past that. We know he turned into Playboy Tyrell and did all the things, but let's get to the friendship part right here. We go back and we see our friend, right? You never even told your friend, not even, because the first thing I'm doing, I'm be like, look, girl, he done put a ring on it. She don't even know that you're dating this man, and she doesn't even know that you're engaged at all. Do you really want to marry this man? Are you really proud of this? Kay, your thoughts?
She came in here with the BS gaslighting already. First of all, you hid your ring. When you hide something, you know that it's something that you're not supposed to do. If you don't want people to know something, that's when you try to hide it, because you're already shameful. Then when she told her that I'm seeing this guy, then engaged. Oh, well, see, that's why I didn't want to tell you. That's why I didn't want to tell you. No, you didn't want to tell her because you're dating the guy that she didn't want. Number one. Number two, you know there's no emotional connection with this man. He just has money and wanted to marry you instantly. Miss, you want the commitment, but not the love part that comes with it, so that you can keep that wall up, is what you wanted. And now you're getting mad at her saying, I told you so. She's not there to say, what's wrong with you? Why would you do that? Why would you go after my leftovers? You don't even know this man. She's only going to reflect back what you're already thinking. And you just didn't want her to say that part. So you went and gaslight her. Well, see, you always be negative. Shelby, you're the negative one. And you always going to have something to say. And that's why I didn't want
to. I deserve to be happy too. But shut up.
You ain't even happy. You just wanted, you didn't even think about marriage until she got married. And she actually loves her husband, and he loves her back. Hey, I can't say the same for you.
Okay. And we just talked about that, so we don't even have to go through that. Tika, so we get to a moment where Shelby decides she's gonna call up she gonna call Tyrell up, which I don't know why you calling Tyrell, because leave Tyrell the hell alone. You already done turned him into what you done turned him into. But old girl answers his phone. This is something that is very different from the book too, but we'll talk about that at some other point when we get ready to read, when we talk about the book version. But Richard finally shows us his true colors. What you think about Richard? Richard said, "Mother is hungry."
Listen,
no, put on
I was not shocked by anything that Richard did. Like, he bored the hell out of us when he and Deborah had that dinner. So I wasn't looking for nothing from him. He looked like a mama's boy, act like a mama's boy. He was giving mama's boy. Shout out to Miss Gladys, Zach mama from Zatima. That portrays mama. I really, it didn't surprise me. He was a whole red flag when we first met him. And shout out to this chick that hung up on Shelby when she called, like, because he had her listed in the phone as her. And, because once upon a time she was her. And now, she ain't nothing. Click, the number you have dialed has been temporarily disconnected. Don't call me no more. She hung up on him. But yeah, I didn't really have a lot on Richard. He was a mama's boy. It was given, I probably could have slept with my mama back in the day. So yeah.
Okay. Well, let's move on to the sad part, because then we get to the sad part where we get the flashes that have been coming to us this entire time. I'm going to start with you, Tamika. We get to this part. We see that there was a conversation that Leonard had with his friend when he came to visit him. Just like Shelby was having a conversation, Leonard was having a conversation, and he knows that this isn't his friend. Like, this just isn't him, that he wants to be a one person. He wants to be a one man, a one woman man. Is that how I say one woman man? Yeah, I think that's right. A one woman man. But the thing with Shelby has just put up this wall for him. And so he's out here trying to do something that he's not. So he's leaving him a message as he's driving off. And then all of a sudden he gets hit by a car. And that's where the 2 police officers were coming. They were coming to her door. And then we see that she has finally gotten pregnant as well. And Leonard low-key told us, because he said, I want our children to grow up together or not be that far apart in age, when he was in the car. But then we have this moment where he wakes up and he says, I love you. And then that's it. And Leonard is gone. And I cried like a baby. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I cried. Baby, I cried. Tamika, thoughts?
Yeah, this was so sad. Side note, I did not know that freaking raggedy ass Shelby knew that Richard and Deborah had dated. I'm thinking she just met him and we gonna have this moment where we gonna realize that I said, you trifling ass raggedy ass, like she just got even lower for me with that. But anyway, trying to take some damn sloppy seconds. But poor Leonard, oh my God, this broke my heart for her. I felt so daggone bad. I was like, wait a minute, the time jumps is jumping. Because I'm like, look at this big ass belly, like, oh, they having the baby after all this, and now this happens to him, and it's just nothing like when you have that person that's just, your best friend, your everything, your soulmate, I felt for her. I felt for her. I was like, no. I definitely was crying hysterical with this part. She like, you got to be here for your little girl. And, oh, man, I like, well, even though it's horrible, but I like that he got to express himself to Tyrell and tell him, like, you're not really living the life that you want to be living. I know you got hurt, but I need you to get it together and to be real with yourself and true to yourself, and talking about their kids playing together and all of that. And he's trying to send her a text, like, the people that he loved, that's who was on his mind. And then this freaking bitch come out of nowhere,
Girl,
oh, Lord. Yeah.
that part. So then, Tika, we get over here where we are at well, first of all, we had Tyrell called up. He called up Shelby. He called Shelby.
Yeah,
And
it was funny to me. I'm sorry. I just want to say it was funny to me that even though they broke up and they say they both ain't thinking about each other, she as him and her phone, and he had her as her phone. Like,
him and her. He said, "Who is him? Who is he? What's that? Richard, sit your ass down. Just stop, okay? Like, stop." Richard was irking my soul. But anyway, so he calls her up, tells her what happened or whatnot. So we get here, and Deborah is like, I need you to be strong for me, because listen, Tyrell is full on breakdown at this point. But she's like, I need you to be strong for me. And then he says that I can do it for him, right? And I love this moment. I feel like this was just like such a touching moment, but we're going to move on to the drama. Kay, I'm going to start with you on this drama, because why Richard have to bring his trifling self here? Just jealous for no reason, jealous of him, and you don't even know him. Now, in the book, they play this out a little bit differently, but and it explains why Richard has this reaction that he has. Not that I agree with it, but it does explain it. But they don't really do a good job at explaining why Richard went so here. Like, how much of this relationship do you know? Do she sit around and talk about this relationship? Like, what is real? What is it really? You know what I'm saying? Like, why did he have such a reaction to Tyrell? But anyway, he does have a reaction. They end up getting into it. What are your thoughts?
Ron Rico Lee was carrying the second half of this movie. He was carrying this end of the movie. His acting was just on point. He was carrying these scenes. Richard, bland ass Richard. I hate when men be in women business. I can't stand it, because first of all, she was going to go see about her friend and check on her pregnant friend because her husband passed. This had nothing to do with you. And she planned to leave him because she said, I needed some space and some time. It'll be good for me to go away. And the next thing you know, he's here. Why are you in women business? You was not invited. That's just overbearing and controlling nature. And she wouldn't have lasted in this marriage and relationship with him anyway. because he just looked like he want to be all, especially when he was like telling her to wear and all this kind of stuff. It gives controlling, and somebody needed to check him and put him in his place. I did like when he said, he did get that one line in there when he said, "I thought you'd be taller." I gave him a little point for that, because you know, he said, what she said, she's 6'3", she needed the tall man. He might have got one off on him, but he did need to be checked, because first of all, sir, you weren't even supposed to be there. So I don't blame when Tyrell said, "I'm about to," he said, you know what I be thinking about. Those was fighting words though, because if Richard didn't swing on him, then I would have called him a bitch.
Okay, this is the part right here. Mama said she didn't have good taste. Shut up, boy. Nobody talking about your mama. Richard wanted all the smoke.
Norman Bates ass. Just
Richard wanted all the smoke. Oh my God, that stuff was so funny to me. But anyway, I'm gonna go back to this one right here with you, Tika. Shelby is still out here lying, and it irritates the crap out of me, because we are at a moment where we are being vulnerable with each other. Me and my friend, we're talking, and she's brought me to the site where her husband has passed away, and she's sharing this with me. And there was a moment where they're talking, and she says, when she asked her, she was like, or was this before that? Oh, yeah, this was when, I can't remember exactly when it was. I think they were still in the car, but it was somewhere in this moment, right? She asked her, why is she marrying him? And she says, no man has ever been crystal clear with me, and he's intentional. And girl called her that, like, and she was like, why are you always, speaking up for Tyrell? Because Tyrell was very intentional. He was very crystal clear. And you know what else irritates me or makes me think? Because I know husbands and wives love the pillow talk. I always wondered, did Leonard ever tell her about the ring? Like, did he ever say, like, he had got a ring for her? Because that's been some stuff I would have told my husband. I'm like, he had got a ring for her, and that heifer done went and left him, and he was gonna marry her. Like, that would have been what I would have said.
He probably did tell her, especially when they that close. He probably said, "Your friend tripping," because my boy's about to pop the question to her. He's about to get down on one knee. Your girl out here on some other stuff. I feel like he told her.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like he had to. But yeah, but what did you think about when she said this? Like, Shelby's even lying to her friend.
Girl, she don't know what the truth is. She don't know how to tell the truth. She's just a narcissist, liar, everything. She's all the things. But guess what? She got what she deserved. She got a man who was going to pretty much choke her behind out. He was controlling her. She got what she asked for. With dealing with Richard, we saw how controlling he was, especially following her, to the house, and, all in women's business, as one of y'all said, and so she got what she got. But it was like, I was just hoping she would just go away. I mean, and I don't want to be mean, but why wasn't her in the accident? But not Leonard. Like, Leonard was a good guy. But anyway, that's all I got for Shelby. I ain't got no love. Sorry.
And listen, I'm so glad that you said it, because Tika is the nice one. Nice, and I wanted to say that, but I said, you know what, I'm gonna leave it there. I ain't gonna say nothing. Thank you.
Well, you took the wrong one.
Can we get a do-over? Please take this one. Come get her. Okay. So that I should say Rodrigo. So that Leonard can go ahead and mourn, and not Leonard. So that Tyrell can go ahead and mourn and be done with it, and just go on with his life, and maybe find love. Maybe. But it was what it was. We had a moment where we get Tamika, where the young lady who unalived Leonard comes over, and she says, "I'm sorry." Now, what I didn't like about this, I didn't like how they had Jasmine bring her over. It's definitely not like that in the book. But I didn't like how they had Jasmine bring her over. I thought that was so weird that Jasmine would bring her over there. I kind of got what was happening, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like I probably would have cussed her out too. I mean, she was better than me. She would have got cussed out.
Baby, she would have got cussed out, tossed. Like, I didn't get why Jasmine was there either. That was weird to me. I don't know why y'all knocking at my damn door. Keep your sorry, shove it up your behind. Like, my husband is going, like, no, I don't want to talk to you. Why aren't you in jail? Why are you even here?
I don't do
Why
white
is
tears.
she here?
Girl,
Yeah.
that part. Like, why is she here? Why is she here? Now in the book, the person who hit her is supposed to have had, they had a little money, like family could get her out and all that type of stuff. So, but they did the scene a little bit differently. But she puts her hand over the baby like, this is what you took. Okay, the way she wouldn't have been touched, the way she would have had something broke on her by the time we was all over with. And that part came. Okay, anybody got time for them tears at all? But we say goodbye to Leonard, y'all. We say goodbye to Leonard. Everybody gets up there and speaks and does all the things. And it was just a really nice moment. And then this happens, and I want everybody to speak on it. I'll start with you, Tika. These two decided that they just gonna talk it out, and then she tells him that she hadn't had the abortion. This is when we found out that she hadn't had the abortion. I mean, the AB. I don't know if they let you say that. She hadn't been to the chop shop when she had came to the house, which is why I was so upset. Because why are you lying? Like Kay said, why are you gaslighting? Why are you doing like? What would have been the end game to this? What game are we playing? Why are we not adults? Are we not grown? Who plays that type of game? Like, that's just so wild to me. And how he just sits up here and it's like he should have fought for what? You cannot fight with somebody who is not in the ring with you. You cannot fight with the air. It just cannot happen. Like, oh, okay, hold on. I'm getting upset. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he could fight with the air, but he'll look real crazy because she was not, again, she telling him he should have fought. She wasn't willing to fight. So why try to put this guilt trip on this man? Whose side am I choosing? Definitely not Shelby's. Again, why wasn't it Shelby? That's all I need to know. Like, why wasn't it her? That's all I got for her. I hate this for Tyrell. I'm hoping maybe they'll bring a part 3 and we'll see that he's not with her. He's actually with someone that actually loves him, cares about him. Give us a 5-minute clip or something, because this just ain't gonna work for me. I don't know if they're actually together. I don't know why he would. Boy, what she put on you? Did she put roots on you or something? Like, what is going on? Anyway, I'm sorry. I ain't really have a whole lot for this moment. It was a beautiful moment though that they shared to send Leonard home. The people spoke on his behalf, that was beautiful. But yeah, they didn't need to go forward.
The way Tyrell should have cussed her out in this moment just would have made my heart just so happy. I didn't care about them getting back together. As a matter of fact, they didn't need to be together. She is so toxic that she don't deserve this man. How you gonna lie to him about something that is so big and life-changing, and actually he was excited about something that you got him like to this point, and then just yanked it all away, then had the nerve to go and get engaged to somebody else because he chose you. He was intentional. Bro, he chose you every single day through the good, the bad, the ugly, and your lying, trifling. Hey, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm calm.
Ass.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to show my age right here. So I don't know if y'all remember I'm taking it all the way back to Sister. Remember when he was dating Tia on Sister, and she tried to leave him for Brian McKnight's trifling?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then when she found out that man that was her teacher, and that man ain't want her because he had a wife, he had a woman, and she goes back to him, and it's just like, I mean, okay, so we good now. I was just I was tripping for a little bit, I was tripping, but me and you we locked in, right? And he was like, I'm glad you noticed, but I see you had to do what you had to do for you, so I'm about to do what I need to do for me. So I holla at you. I needed him to do the same thing right here.
Girl.
I needed him to go ahead and say, you know what? Thank you for telling me. I'm glad you went out and saw what you needed to see. Now I'm about to do the same.
Okay.
I ain't finished seeing what's out there yet. I got a little bit more thought and bopping to do.
Okay, about to go out here and just be a whole thought. I'm still out here thought. Okay, because these women, they is liking me. Okay,
Okay.
they is liking your boy.
Oh, yeah, he had a roster. Okay,
Okay,
he's
he
like,
had
I
a
ain't ready to
roster.
give up my roster just yet. Just because you realized that I was a good one, I'm not done yet. Okay, I need to go do me for a little while. That's
That
what he
part.
did.
Tamika, what are your thoughts about this tragic ending? In more than one way.
Listen, R.I.P. to my boy. I'm glad he got a good send off, and I'm glad that they was able to be here for Deborah. But other than that, I don't give a damn. You know, I don't give a damn about no damn Shelby. Okay, he should have said, "Bitch, have you been to therapy? That's where I need you to go next." All right, that's the only thing I want you to talk to me about is you seeing a therapist. I would not have been saying if I should have fought for a damn thing, I should have fought for you to be in therapy. The only conversation they needed to be having. But yeah, we auntie and uncle. Oh, little sweet baby. I'm so bad Little is not here. Little should be here. Okay, I would see because she could have went.
Okay,
I'm
can
just
we give her
like,
the hug?
I'm so disgusted with her. No, ma'am. That wasn't good enough. She needed to come with more than that for me. I'm sorry.
Okay, that part. Yeah, it wasn't good enough. It wasn't a good enough apology, and I didn't see any change. And I just feel like she's going to continue the same old toxic behavior because that's what the main problem was. It wasn't that they didn't have chemistry or that he wasn't feeling her. It's really about the toxicity that she brought to the relationship that eventually is going to change him in some way. You know, like, oh, somebody can only be told so many times that they don't care, that they don't this. Like, you can only tell somebody this so many times before they just give up and like, dang shit, what do you want me to do? Like, I just didn't get it. I didn't like this ending. I don't think that Shelby was a good person at all. Like, maybe she was at some point, but as far as in this relationship, I feel like she had moments. Because even in her friendship, I feel like her friendship, like Kay talked about it for a minute, where we know that Deborah's character is going through something, and whether she knew about it or not, the fact that you don't know about it is a problem for me. The fact that you don't know that your friend has been battling this, but yet you, when you had this issue, the first person you called was her and she listened to you. And even though knowing that she wanted exactly like that's what she was trying to, she was trying to get pregnant, and you are pregnant and she's listening to you vent and allowing you to vent and allowing you that space to lean on her when she's going through something herself, the fact that you're not able to pick up on these things, even if she hasn't told you yet, the fact that you should know that we learned from the beginning that the one thing that she wanted was to be a mom. We learned that from the first date with her and Leonard. How does your best friend not pick up on that or know that? I just feel like she was not a great person, and I don't think that this was a good match for him. And you know, it's I think it's ironic that for the first time, I feel like maybe not the first time, but for once we're having this conversation and it's in reverse. And it's not about a man being the toxic one, and it's about a female being the toxic one, because I think this was definitely a good example. Those are my final thoughts over the episodes. Overall, though, it was a really good watch. I enjoyed it. And I would love it if everybody would read the book, and, you know, we could come back and we could talk about this. We could talk about the opposite side of this, like the actual book version of it, because I think it has lots of good conversational pieces on it as well. Tikadushi, what are your overall thoughts?
Overall thoughts, it was a great movie, but for anybody that's looking to, you know, check it out, or part one, part two, just know that part one, in my opinion, was a little bit slow, but keep watching, because when you get to part two, all of the pieces are gonna kind of be put together. So just keep watching it, and you know, you'll see that in the whole, Friends and Lovers part one and part two was actually a great project that they did, and that they put together. The casting was perfect. All of the characters, they played their roles, even down to Shelby. You know, we love to hate Shelby at this point, but ain't no love in it. There's just a lot of hate for Shelby right now. But if you watch it, you'll understand. And so, you know, that was pretty much it. I absolutely recommend that. What they say, 10 out of 10. I recommend that, you know, y'all take the journey and check out Friends and Lovers part one, part two. And then I'm sure, like EJ said, the book situation is going to be coming soon. So I guess I got to read the book. I'd rather watch the play though, but I'll go ahead and read the book. but because EJ said it. But I'm here for it though. Seriously, I'm here for it.
Yes, I think it'll be a great conversation. Be our first book club book that we read is Friends and Lovers. So if you haven't already got your copy of Friends and Lovers, go ahead and get your copy of Friends and Lovers. I'm a Audible girl myself, so I'm not gonna get out there and read them pages, but I'm definitely finna go back and re-listen to it so that we can come back and have a conversation here. So I'll put a post up about it and let y'all know what the book is and when we'll come back and have the conversation about it. Tamika, overall thoughts over this project?
Yeah, I loved it though. I was laughing, I was crying, I was having all of the emotions. I want the toss, Richard. I want the toss Shelby. So yeah, they did what needed to be done because they got all the emotions out of me, and I definitely enjoyed it. I hope they make some more of his books into movies. I would be here for it, and I'm going to try to go back and reread the book because it's definitely been a long time since I have.
Yes, please, because we got to come back and we got to have the conversation about this book. Because the book, when I tell you that, like, just we got to come back and have the conversation. So different. I mean, you probably don't have the same feelings, but just different. Kay, overall thoughts, boo.
Yeah, I definitely recommend it. I like the first part. I definitely like the second part more. But I mean, like if I would have just watched the first part and that was it, I thoroughly enjoyed that as well because it gave us the dynamics of how these couples looked in their beginning dating stages and showing where all their insecurities and where all of their traumas started to come out at, and whether they were willing or not to grow out of those to be better people, or whether they were just going to sit in them and be toxic. So I think that's what we got from the first part. But I really liked it. Like if you want a good, well-rounded love story that's not wrapped in a bunch of foolishness and character tropes, and that is very heartfelt, well written, well acted, go watch it if you have not.
Absolutely. I think it was a really, really good watch for sure. Okay, ladies. So what y'all got going on y'all channels? I know Tamika, you have your. Are y'all still doing sisters? I was trying to get through it because I know y'all have sisters. Are y'all? Is it over?
Yes, I'm about to hop off and go do sisters right now.
Okay, so sisters coming up for Tamika, y'all. So make sure that y'all head on over to her and Candy's live if you are watching sisters. And we appreciate you, Tamika. I know you got to jump off, but we appreciate you.
Yes,
Kay, what you got going
ladies.
on your channel? Of course, you're welcome. Get the book. We got to come back.
Yes.
Let's see. Recapping Stranger Things season 5 starts next week. Recapping season 4 this week. The whole playlist of Stranger Things is there. So recap with us so you can be ready for season 5. Also tackling Welcome to Derry. And I will be hopping on for Force this week.
Yes. Yay. Guys, if you're not subscribed to Kay's channel already, please go ahead and head over to Kay. Yes, she does have some horror stuff over there, but she also has a lot of other stuff other than horror as well. So please head on over there, and I promise you guys will not regret it. She does an amazing job. So there's that. And of course, my girl Tika Dushi, what you got going on All Things Ruthless? I know you just did the Oval. Girl, my husband had me watching, and I hadn't even finished the other episodes.
Well, you better catch up, y'all. Catch up, EJ. The Oval. I don't know what the hell happened with Tyler Perry. I don't know what they stuck in his arm to make him write better. This whole season for season 6, it has amped up all the way. It's on some whole other type of levels. It's worth watching. So that was my latest recap on All Things Ruthless. And I've just been doing, focusing on doing as much of the Oval that I could. And then of course I'll be back with the Talk That Talk side of everything. We'll be doing All's Fair tomorrow night, and then Force on Friday. And then I'll let EJ tell the rest of what we have going on, but that's pretty much it. And I'm enjoying doing both, managing to put out content for both, channels. And we also have the Instagram channels or the Instagram pages. So y'all can follow us at Talk That Talk Media on Instagram. You can also follow me at All Things Ruthless on Instagram, Tika for real or Tika Deshawn for real on TikTok, because I get over there and get silly sometimes. And then my regular page, Tika Deshawn. Sometimes I get confused and post stuff that's supposed to be on one page and it end up over there. So, that's pretty much it. Just living life and enjoying all of the things. What about you, EJ? The master of a lot of everything, okay?
Girl, so listen, I dropped the ball, my people. I'm so sorry. I apologize. I was supposed to get this video out about who the sniper was. I was trying to get it out, but y'all, I've just been busy. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I got a lot of stuff on my plate, and I just did not make it back around to that video. So if they do not tell us who the sniper was on this next episode, I will still do the video. If they do, then I apologize. And just, y'all know, I gave y'all about 20 some days worth of family business content. I put a video out every single day. So I hope I can be forgiven for missing this one video. I would really appreciate that, Grace. But other than that, family business is on tomorrow. That'll be my live recap. And then on Friday, of course, we'll have Power Book 4 Force. And then on Thursday, also, we'll have All Is Fair. We'll be talking about that. Tika and I'll be talking about the Talamasca on Monday. This is going to be the last episode. Oh, and it's also going to be the last episode of Married at First Sight. We get to finally see what these raggedy couples decided to do. And then we're also gonna have another movie night. And honestly, I don't even think we know what the movie is, but but we gonna see, okay? But of course, we'll have our movie night on Monday, and then on I think that's it. On Wednesday, we do hope to have our reaction video up this Wednesday. We did not get it up this week on purpose. We didn't put it up on purpose, but we are hoping to have it ready to go for next week. So that will be Welcome to Dairy, episode 3. And then Interview with a Vampire. I can't remember what episode it is, but we hope to have that one up as well. And then we have a review of Interview with the Vampire episodes 4 through 7. So we're trying to get through season 1, because all of season 2, we did nothing but reactions. But season 1, we kind of, we was just testing out the waters in season 1. So definitely look out for that. That should be coming up within the next week. If not that week, it'll probably go over into the following week, but those are the next few videos that we'll have out. So guys, we appreciate y'all so much for coming to hang out with us. We appreciate everybody who's been rocking with TDT, Talk That Talk. We appreciate y'all. We're trying to grow our channel over there. This is our collab channel, Tika and I. This is our baby, and we're having fun doing it. And it's been fun doing all the things and working with my girl and having all of our guests that are coming through. Like, we're excited about the guests that we have, and everything has been a vibe. Everything has been a great conversation. So hopefully we'll have more of those conversations. And we do have our Patreon, guys. If you'd like to see our full reactions, all of the foolishness that goes down in those reactions, then you can definitely head on over to Patreon and consider becoming a member over there. We actually put those out early. So actually our Welcome to Dairy stuff is already out over on Patreon. It's just not up on the YouTube channel yet. And then there's the Discord. Make sure you join the Discord. I try to get up in there, but sometimes I don't always get in there. But of course, if you guys were in there and you were talking, then I'm gonna be right there. So please come on and head over to Discord. We will be starting our book club up for sure. And I am pretty positive that the first book is going to be Friends and Lovers. So I'll post that and let you guys know when we'll travel back to do that live. I want to try to give everybody like a month to read the book. I know we probably don't need that long, but I do want to give everybody that time because I know everybody has stuff that they're doing. And then we'll come back. But the book club is a free book club if you just want to read books and talk about it with us and just, show up to the lives and stuff. So definitely come and hang out with us there. And then other than that, I think that's all we got going on. Again, we appreciate you guys. Thank you to everybody in the chat that came through. Again, if you're watching this on the replay, please make sure to drop down in the chat and say #replay squad and let us know that you came through. Let us know what you thought about this whole entire Friends and Lovers. Let us know what you thought about Shelby. Did you feel the same way that all of the panel felt about Shelby, or were we missing something? Go ahead and let us know, and we will talk to you guys later. Peace.
Talk that. Talk that. Talk that.